if you're still here with me for part 8, thank you. If you are still here with me for part 8, I thank you. I thank you. I thank you. I thank you. 8 is about to be great, honey. Again, first off, I want to say thank you if you're still here. Thank you, thank you, thank you for listening, for tuning in, for sharing, for commenting, for texting, for praying the words of encouragement. Thank you for all the things. Like I said in one of those videos, I have been quiet about all of this since 2020. Reason why, I think I mentioned in one of the videos. I do love the Lord. I do love the Lord. And I am not, I love God. I believe in karma. And I also believe that, what you reap, you sow. And I also needed to be very strategic with how I shared my story, only because it can be rooted in the church that is the building, not the faith, but, institutions can be tied to my story. And people involved in the institution can be involved in my story. And I never, ever, ever wanted to seem as if I'm being messy with anything. Because again, my account, like my actual events of my life, have absolutely nothing to do with how someone else might feel about it. It has nothing else to do with any building, any address, or any clergy person, right? My screenshots, my recordings, my court documents, my life, my experiences have absolutely nothing to do with a place or faith. However, because it is kind of tied, if you know, because it's kind of tied, I just knew that, around every corner when things got worse, I was like, I can't respond that way because it might look like this. So I can't respond that way because if I'm out here being ratchet, hood, ghetto, and messy, the Lord ain't gonna bless me. I don't want to be blessed. I do. I love his blessings. I do. And I don't want to be on the other side of God's wrath. Shout out to you and your faith, which whatever you do with yours. But as far as me and my house, I don't want to be on the other side of his wrath. So that's why I think, I don't know if somebody asked me or somebody asked someone that I'm close with, like, why now? Why now? It's because now I'm at a place where I can speak up and speak out about it. And I've healed it. That's what it was. I had to heal first so I wouldn't speak out of emotion. I had to heal first so I wouldn't speak out of turn. And of course, some of the stuff it's still, when I read the text messages, when I listen to voice audios, when I listen to the videos, or when I even speak to my children or speak to people who have, that's my daughter walking my dog. When I speak to people who have been there in the trenches and have seen and experienced these things with me, sometimes I get emotional and it's just like, oh, I can't believe I went through that. I can't believe I dealt with that. I can't believe I didn't pop off. I can't believe I didn't send little Ray down to, because we got people in low and high places. But the Lord is good. He is good. And God is good. Moving along. I wanted to, in a couple of weeks, we go back to court because the person is asking me for, put in a motion to ask me for child support for the year of 2023. Because they had the children for, I think, between like 60 and 70 days of the year more than I did. And so I think that's their reason for asking. I don't know what the reason is. Our children have always been provided for. My babies have never had like a need, when they're with either parent, both homes are very much independent, like we don't share clothes. We don't swap anything yeah. So in my mind, it doesn't make sense. And when someone asks the person, why are you doing this? How did it get here? And they told them, because I want her to apologize. So we're in court because the person wants me to apologize to them. I think, like I mentioned in one of my previous videos, they believe that like someone broke up our marriage. And because I moved on months after, like I started to hang out with someone. I wouldn't call it dating. I wasn't dating at the time. I started to hang out with someone. I think I wanted to mention this in one of my previous videos. So if you heard it before, just roll along with me. And I'll try to, give you the short version. Because I had been hanging out with someone and spending time with that person. They came to me and they asked me, hey, do you like so-and-so? And I said, yeah, he's pretty cool. I think I do. And they said, well, why didn't you tell me? And I said, I didn't think we were there yet. You know, it was during COVID. We were still cohabitating. But we had lived in separate rooms for 2 years. I was in the master bedroom in one house, and he was in the basement. And then the other house, he was in the upstairs bedroom, and I was downstairs in the little ensuite, if you will. So no hokey pokey, no sleeping in the same bed for 2 years, and now we're divorced. So okay, yeah, I'm spending time with someone. I'm on the phone, not in front of them. I'm still respectful because I am in the same house with the person. And people can be crazy, and I would never want to blatantly disrespect anybody. But long story short, because I started talking to someone and spending time with someone, they came back after I answered them. I was truthful. I answered them. They said, "Oh, you must have been," and they found my Pinterest board where the person was remodeling their home because they had just they're newly single. They were remodeling their home, and I have not deleted anything from my Pinterest Messenger to this day. So if you know, their receipts will match what I currently have on my Pinterest inbox, whatever. So they were remodeling their home, so we would send pictures back and forth of, we'll do this and do this and do this. And he said that we were planning our life in Pinterest, and taking trips together. I remember once I went to a Mary Kay conference, and they, the same week, were moving their family member to that same state where the conference was held. And they drove the U-Haul down there, and they didn't know how they were going to get home, if they were going to stay a couple of days, and this, that, and third. Long story short, I told them when I was coming back home, they were like, okay, cool, I can, finagle this, that, and third, set the family member up, and then I can probably see if I can get on that flight. They ended up getting on that flight. I told said person, hey, so-and-so is going to be going back to catching a ride with me from the airport. I had another family member in the car. So I think that's what they're talking about. Because other than that, I don't know. But long story short, I went through all that I went through because the person believed that a person broke up our marriage. And that those were the rumors that were spread about me. Anyone who would kind of listen, that's what he would say about me. So coming back to the state of Illinois in the same area where I first dealt with that person, I was very I was very guarded because I didn't know who believed crap, because a lot of people did believe crap because in my opinion, because I wasn't here. They don't know me as well. They've known him for probably maybe 2-3 years longer, and he's in a higher position in the community, if you will. If you know, you know, than I am. And so it's like, wait, he wouldn't lie. And why would he lie? And it's just like, if you come and have a conversation, go through your screenshots and videos and recordings, I'll tell you why he would lie. But, I'll tell you why he would say that. But, so yeah, it's been an interesting journey coming back to Illinois after hearing from his mouth that he's spoken ill of me, and after hearing my name circulating around the area where I live in Illinois. But I'm grateful that that's not what I receive when I see people in person. People are still very friendly, still very loving, still very open. So I'm grateful that I don't know. I think that my character has spoken for itself, or time has told the actual truth. I don't know. But it's just been interesting moving back here to Illinois after all that.